Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're back here with another animal presentation. And this time, as you can see, it's about camels. Now, camels I might not be like super into, but given whenever I was in school, I did an animal physiology class, and we like harped on camels for a long time to when we talked about deserts. So I have learned a lot about them. So, I thought this would be a perfect time to talk about them a little bit. So anyways, camels, the ultimate desert animal. As you can see, we have a tactical camel here. uh, yeah, you can see him. That's fine. Yes, so anyways, as you can see here, we have the ultimate desert animal, the tactical camel. So some of the things we're going to be talking about, especially that I want to talk about, is just its water preservation for camels, because they really are the ultimate desert animal, in my opinion. So we'll talk about the humps. We'll talk about their sweating, their water through their diet, drinking water, and their super efficient kidneys. Those are like some of the main things I want to touch on. There's going to be more also though. So if you want to look up here first, this is a picture of Bactrian. Yes, a Bactrian camel. And they are the, I guess, biggest. They're the ones with two humps. And compared to, I don't really know how tall that human is. But, yeah. Well, that might be the line right there. But anyways, they are taller than humans. And much bigger. So, general characteristics, their life expectancy is about 40 to 50 years. I kind of averaged out between the Bactrian and the Dromedary. But, anyways, height of them, Dromedary, those are the one-hump camels. They're about 1.85 meters or 6'1". And then the hump adds an extra like foot, so it's about 7 foot 1 inch. And Bactrians can be about a foot taller than that, so about 8 foot 1 inches. So that's terrifying. But I do like the look of camels. So weight. Dromedaries are about 300 to 600 kilograms, so 660 to 1320 pounds. And Bactrian can be between 300 to 1,000 kilograms. Oh my. 2,200 pounds is a max. Oh my gosh, that's big. Speeds. I was actually kind of surprised at how fast camels were. I would have thought like horses and stuff like that, but speeds for camels, about 65 kilometers per hour or 40 miles per hour, and sustained is about 40 kilometers per hour or 25 miles per hour. That's pretty dang fast. And then their widened toes on their hoof give better grip in varying landscapes. We'll kind of go over their like where they're best at walking at later between Dromedary and Bactrian. So, mating. I wanted to add this in here because they have this really interesting organ right here called, well, I guess there's two different names, but the male dromedary have a doula or a gula. I saw both these names. I saw a scientific article with the gula, and then I saw a couple other websites saying the doula. So, gula doula, it's inside their throat, and it's a large inflatable sac that they'll just kind of like spit out of their mouth, and it looks like a long swollen tongue. And it's used to assert dominance. So whenever they get angry, they'll sometimes do it, and then also to attract females whenever they're mating, when they're in heat. The camels actually also go into heat at the same time, like the males and females, and they mate while they're sitting down. So I'm not going to go too much into that, but it's done by sitting down. You can use your mind to figure that out. Or look it up, I don't care. Sexual maturity. Females get mature about 3 to 4 years, and then males about 4 to 5 years. And 99% of the time, whenever they are pregnant, it is one baby. there are very, very low chances. I think it was 0.04% chance or whatever that there's twins. It's very, very rare. And most of the time, if there are twins, usually the other one dies early on. And gestation period, the period that they're pregnant, is 390 days. That is quite a bit. That's over a year. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I need to say about them. Okay, so one thing that camels are known for mostly, I think, or at least I know them for, are their humps. So their humps aren't exactly like canteens or like things of water. They don't store water in their humps. Well, they don't. They kind of do in a way. So inside their humps, it stores fat. It's made up of dense fat. And they can break down this fat and they can get water out of that, metabolized water. So in a way it stores water, but it's not really water. And the hump size depends on the animal health. So if they're eating and drinking a lot, their humps will be nice and big and firm. But whenever food is scarce, then the humps can lean or droop. So if you see a camel with like a drooping hump, it needs like water and food. Because of their hump, they can metabolize water out of the fat, and they can survive up to 10 days without drinking water. And I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm guessing that's probably for the dromedaries. The Bactrian, since it has 2 humps, possibly it could be double that. I have no idea. But then again, I have right here, dromedaries on the top here is 1 hump. Bactrian, 2 humps. Same pictures for these because it's same thing. But the main differences between the dromedary and the Bactrian camel is dromedaries has 1 hump. They also have short hair, as you can see. They have long, long, long legs. And the dromedaries are what you think of when you think of the desert. Because they're from like North Africa, Middle East areas, and they're used in sandy environments. Their padded feet are good for sand, but not good for like rocks and sharp areas. So they're perfect for the sandy environments. Now, on the other hand, the Bactrian has 2 humps, and they have long, long hair. And their legs are also kind of short. They're long, but shorter compared to the dromedaries. They are also from Central Asia. So that area is a little bit more cooler. That's why they have the longer fur or hair. And they can be used in more rocky environments because their feet are wider and they're tougher, so they can walk on rocks. So, another thing, I didn't really have a picture for this because I couldn't find any sweat glands of a camel, pictures of them, or at least any good pictures. So, camels have minimal sweating. They do not sweat very much at all. So, they have very few sweat glands, and they do not sweat often. And when they do sweat, it contains very, very low sodium compared to like humans. And they only produce a very thin layer of sweat. So on the other hand, humans here, we have 2 to 4 million sweat glands. So we have a lot of sweat glands. We sweat very regularly. Like if you just like get a little bit hot, you'll start sweating. Whereas camels, not as much. Sweat contains high sodium. Wait, what? Yeah, humans contain high sodium. Yeah, that's what I think. And we can produce up to 1 to 2 liters per an hour. We just sweat a lot. So camels are excellent, excellent. And camels, like since the desert has very, very low amounts of water around, they have to figure out where to get it from the plants and stuff around there. And a lot of the plants in the deserts and stuff are like thorny and like hard. So camels have this interesting thing that they have a thick leathery lining inside their mouth, which it allows them to chew up thorny plants. So they eat tough desert plants, kind of like thorny plants, shrubs, cactuses, stuff like that. One of these thorny plants is the acacia tree. I have a picture here of it. And you can't really see the bark, but the acacia tree has little thorns, tough thorns on them. And camels will break through these thorns and they will drink the sap from these trees. So that's like hardcore as crap. They also eat date palms, which are very high sugar content fruits, and that helps power them, I guess, if you think of them like an engine. Now, whenever they do find water, they can drink lots of water and super fast. I watched a video of them drinking 30 gallons of water. And depending on their size, they can drink 30 gallons of water and can drink 1/3 of the body weight. So, on average, about, like, I'd say around 30 gallons. And then, if they're bigger camels, they can drink more, smaller, a little bit less. Like I said, about 1/3 of their body weight. They can go nearly 2 weeks without drinking water. I think I have somewhere else that it says something like 10 days. So but that fits. That fits. They can drink up to 30 gallons of water in like 13 minutes. So I broke this down a little bit. So 1 gallon is 120 ounces. A standard glass of water that you'd be drinking would be 8 ounces. So 30 gallons of water, 120 ounces, that may be multiplied to 3,840 ounces. Divide that by 8, which is a standard glass. So that is 480 standard glasses of water. That is like you drinking like 480 glasses of water in 13 minutes. It's impossible. I couldn't do that. I have a 30-gallon fish tank, like, actually in the room with me. I could not imagine drinking that whole thing in just 13 minutes. Humans drink average of 8 standard glasses of water a day. It is insane. Oh, another thing. This is disgusting. I found this out, but it's something else. So camels have very super efficient kidneys. So whenever they like filter water, like to filter your urine, they will reabsorb the water out of the urine. So the urine comes out very thick, like a syrup, and then their feces, their poop, is so dry that whenever it comes out, it can be used as a fuel for a fire, like right off the bat. And camel urine is sometimes used as medicine. This is the disgusting part. Here is a bottle of the camel urine that I found online. And usually they will mix it with camel's milk to kind of disguise the smell and taste. And I do not recommend any of this. This is a very bad idea, I think. But there are supposed benefits of drinking camel's urine. It's supposed to thin your blood, so blood thinner. It's supposed to cure hepatitis, treat and kills cancer cells, and it supposedly boosts immunity. As far as I know, these have not been tested in humans or anything, but I think they've used them on cells and stuff, and they have done stuff, but I think it's a bad idea. Do not recommend, do not do it. And consumption of the urine spreads the MERS virus, which is Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. And I don't know exactly what it is. I know you can get fever and stuff like that, but it can cause lung infection and kidney failure. And it's a zoonotic virus, I think that's how it's pronounced, zoonotic. But it's a virus that's spread from animals to humans. And I think the MERS virus is from camels, and I think bats can also give it to humans. So, I know some places it's looked on to drink camel's urine. I would not recommend. Don't do it. So, protection from the sun and sand. So you might think that, oh, some of these some of these camels, why do they have thick fur? Well, their thick coat insulates them from the heat of the sun and sand, so it keeps out the heat. So, yeah, nice. Their coat also turns lighter in the summer, which reflects light and helps avoid sunburn. Their long legs also keep them really far from the hot sand. The sand in the deserts can be up to like 158 degrees Fahrenheit, 70 degrees Celsius. If I touched that, I would burn. Everyone would burn. I can't imagine, but they have padded feet, so it protects them from the heat. Dromedaries camels also have a thick pad of skin on their sternum, like the very front of their chest. And it's called a pedestal, I could not get a picture of that, a very good picture, but they lay on this whenever they are on the sand, and this raises their body up off the sand and allows air to pass underneath them, which ends up cooling them off, the air. I think I have this in another place too. But anyways, their nostrils can be closed off whenever the sand is there, so they can close their nostrils to protect it from sand. And they can also, when they exhale, usually you give off like water vapor. But instead, they have little hairs in their nose that will collect the water vapor and it will get reabsorbed back into their body. So they do not lose any water through breathing. Oh, this is some of the defense mechanisms. So, them being very tall and long legs, they can kick very good. They can bite, and as the picture I have here, they can all. Well, I think if his head was sideways, they could fit his whole head inside their mouth. So, wide mouths that can fit a human head. Do not get near them with your head. They can also spit, kind of like camels and stuff like that. Not camels, sorry, llamas. Oh my gosh. And I saw somewhere that they can spit up to 37 meters, which is 121 feet, which I haven't really seen a video to say yes or no to that, but I did see it, so that is a possibility. And the thought of being like 121 feet away and a camel spitting on you is terrifying. And also, apparently, whenever they get like mad at people, they could throw up on people to make them mad. That is very disgusting. But I guess that is a defense mechanism. Oh, yes. So, camels are used by humans, as you know. Whenever you think of going around the desert, I expect you'd probably think of riding a camel through the desert, so transportation. Textiles and stuff, they use the hair, and they can be used to make tents, clothing, bedding, like stuff like that. There's lots of stuff. And this is a picture of the hair and stuff that they use. And don't get me wrong, that looks kind of really soft. I don't know how it feels on clothing or bedding, but it looks soft. Then food. So milk is one of the big things. I have a picture of camel's milk down here. And it is very rich in protein and vitamins. And I think it is better than cow's milk. Pretty sure. But on the other side, they sometimes butcher camels and eat meat, and the meat I heard is very tough. So whenever they cook the meat, they have to tenderize it a lot. It's a long tenderizing process. I think I'd try camel's milk and meat. The milk can also be turned into cheeses and stuff like that, which is kind of harder to make it into cheese because you have to use a certain I think a certain acid or something like that. I don't know. You have to use a certain type of something to turn the milk into cheese. You can't just curdle it. So, I also saw somewhere where they have ice cream make of milk from camels, and it did look really good. Oh, this is one thing that I saw that really surprised me. Okay, first, military use. Okay. Apparently, camels have been used in the military in Africa, Middle East, India, the East Roman Empire, the United States, France, and Britain, just to name a few. And I saw some reports and stories about the U.S. Camel Corps, which I had never heard of. And really, I want to learn more about them now. But anyways, it was stationed in California. And it was an experimental use of camels as infantry and stuff, and it was a success. They actually used it. I think they had 70 camels they brought over or something like that to start out, and it would have been something they probably used at least for a little bit, but it was ended because at the start of the American Civil War. So when the American Civil War started, they stopped it all. And they left the camels to wander the desert, or the camels were sold at auction. A little bit of both, I think, happened. So, sadly, we do not get camel infantry. But I don't know for sure if that'd be the best thing, because I heard camels are very temperamental. But we almost had camel infantry over in the Americas. Okay. Now we're on to my random facts. And there are quite a few, actually. So camels, because they're in the desert and stuff, they can fluctuate their body temperature between 93 degrees Fahrenheit, 34 degrees Celsius, and 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Celsius. So they can change their body temperature between these two. So when it's really hot, they will raise their body temperature up to like 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and that will make it so that it's not as hot on them, the outside temperature is, so they'll produce less sweat. They'll stop sweating, which is very, very cool. Humans, if we are not like at 98.6, I think that's around our okay body temperature. We like it's bad if we get out of that range. Yes, I have another thing. They trap water in their nostrils and reabsorb it in their body. Already kind of talked about that. Yes. Here is a picture of a cama. Cama. And if you are interested in like hybrid animals, the cama is a hybrid between a dromedary camel and a llama. Since they're kind of in like the same animal kind of thing, they can breed. And camas are sterile, kind of like if you did a horse and a donkey, you get a mule. And also, if you breed a dolphin and a whale, you'll get a whalefin. I think it's a whalefin. And those are all sterile also. Hybrid animals are... I think it's most of the time there's hybrid animals are sterile. As far as I know. One of these things that I actually learned a while back is the earliest camel. So, like, not the camel we think of, like with the humps and everything, but like early animals that would be the farthest back we can go and say, hey, this is still a camel, lived in North America. And it was 40 to 50 million years ago. Protolopus. Let's go with that. And it was the size of a rabbit and fed on like leaves and stuff like that, soft leaves. So thinking that the earliest camels were in North America is kind of insane to me. I was sitting here, I'm like, how is that possible? And then I thought of like when all the continents were together and yeah. I guess I can travel around. The last camel that was native to North America was called the Camylopus hesternus. Whatever, it's right there in the italics. And it vanished around 15,000 to 11,000 years ago. And I think that's when like all the megafauna and stuff in the United States was kind of starting to go away. Because there was lots of megafauna that ended up going extinct, and it's very, very sad. It's one of the worst things I hear about, because I'm sitting here like, there was lots of cool stuff over in North America, and they started just going extinct. Then around 90% of camels in the world are dromedaries. So I think there's like, I read that's like 14 million camels in the world or something like that. And there's technically 3 species of camels. So there's the dromedaries, then there's the Bactrian, and I think there's the wild Bactrians, that there's not very many of them. And they're very tough animals, I've heard. I got another random facts continued here. So, I could have gone longer with these random facts, but I think some of them you guys probably don't need to know. So one thing I thought was interesting is, it makes sense, but they are born without their humps. So I have a picture of a baby camel here. And whenever they're born, they have no humps. As they start to eat and drink, they'll start to grow their hump. Like, I think that's where it usually comes up, that dark spot of hair. And then... they're blood cells. So, whenever you think of blood cells, you think of like a nice circle kind of thing. That's kind of what you think of. Blood cells in camels are oval shape. And because of this, whenever they drink a ton of water, they can expand to like 240% of their normal size. And other animals can only expand about 150. Like most animals, I think humans, it's like that, you can drink too much water, and it can cause your red blood cells to burst. Camels, like, they don't care. Camels' blood cells, since they're oval shaped, they can expand a lot more, which is good for them. Good for them. Oh, one thing that I saw is in Turkey. Apparently, there is camel wrestling events every January. Now, first off, I'm going to like break your immersion here and your dreams and like your mental image, and also mine, because it is not a human wrestling a camel. That's what I thought it was. Because I've heard of people wrestling bears, and I thought, oh, that's kind of like wrestling a bear. I'm like, it's got to be hilarious watching a camel wrestle a human. But as you can see here in the bottom, it's two camels wrestling. So it's kind of sad. I, I wish. But I think a camel would definitely win against a human. Kind of like a bear. I think bears usually win against humans too. But yeah, camel wrestling happens in Turkey every January. I might have to watch a video of this. Oh, this is one of those things that I never would have looked up if I never would have found if I was not doing this. Is apparently there's a folk story, okay? There's a camel that was called the Red Ghost in the Arizona desert. And I'm guessing it probably was around the time, is it 1893? I don't remember the American Civil War is. I don't know. But anyways, apparently the camel is said to have caused all sorts of atrocities. Like, it would do tons of stuff to people. And it also seemed to kill people and trample tents. Those are some of the things that it would do. But this is an insane story for me to listen to, because it sounds so fake. But then it's also said that like when people saw the camel, it had a bleached skeleton on its back. And it's said to have killed and eaten a grizzly bear. I do not see that. I don't see a camel killing a grizzly bear, which are big, but that's kind of terrifying. Grizzly bears are like one of the most terrifying things in the world, I feel like. Now, one thing that really, really got me sad was apparently there's people that have said to shoot at it, which one person said that they shot at the camel and shot the skeleton in the head, and the skeleton's head came off, and they said they found like hair and skin still on it. But this is the saddest thing here. Apparently, the farmer Maizu Hastings shot and killed the camel in 1893. Apparently, the red camel was in his farm. It was eating something, and he shot it, one shot, and killed it. He said there was a skeleton on the back, and yeah, that's the end of the Red Ghost. I kind of almost left that out because I'm like, I like the folk story of just like a camel running around Arizona deserts, like doing random stuff. Maybe not killing people, but like trampling tents. I think it's kind of funny. And then when I saw that, I'm like, oh, maybe his ghost goes around and like does stuff to people, like trample tents and everything. I don't know. It was an interesting story. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep, that's all my stuff about camels and stuff. Most of it was mostly just about how they like survive in the deserts and water, but I did add in other stuff to it. I would like to thank my animal physiology teacher. Won't say you by name because I don't want to like out you or anything. But thank you very much. I really enjoyed your class and really enjoyed everything that you taught me. I really wish I could have took your insectology course because I love insects, but it was not in the cards. So thank you again. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, camels are really interesting creatures after I started learning all this stuff. Other than the camel urine stuff, that was kind of disgusting. But hey, the camels don't make you drink urine. And I liked listening about the Red Ghost. I loved hearing about the U.S. Camel Corps. And also the camel wrestling. I might have to watch a video of camel wrestling. That kind of sounds entertaining. I might not watch a ton of them, but it sounds very good. Yeah, this is my second animal video. I've already got another one I've kind of started. I'm trying to make more of these, but it's one of those things where with work and stuff, I don't have a ton of time to do this while also making other videos. So these will come out like just every so often. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I've got a few comments from other people. Thank you very much for watching the videos and like commenting and likes and everything like that. These are probably some of my favorite videos to make because this really is my niche. Like, I like talking and learning about animals and stuff. I'll probably try to do some about plants too because I do like botany and everything, and even like space stuff. I like space. But yeah, that's it. And thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next animal presentation I do. So bye.